Good
Okay.
morning, everyone. This is the time of the pretrial conference plea docket. And let me make inquiry who would like to be first on the docket.
Your Honor, if I may, and I hate to
Yes.
step on the line, but Mr. Wilkinson's here in the office, and I have several others coming in the office as well.
Okay.
Um,
And Jim, we can go ahead and proceed with Mr. Wilkinson.
I'm not a mister, but I mean, I've never referred to as that. People call me Tom. I'd never hear of this, Mr. Wilkinson. But
Okay.
All right, before going on the record, Jim, announcements to the court.
Your Honor, I've been in discussions with the state and my client as well. It's my understanding my client would guilty or no contest. Do you have a preference?
I'll plead guilty to
Okay.
it.
Would plead guilty to the single count one of the information. The state would dismiss the remaining counts. At time of sentencing, Your Honor, which will not, of course, be today, but down the road, we think Mr. Wilkinson is likely to be a C on the grid. We think he is likely to fall under at least the category we could fall under Senate Bill 123 eligibility.
Okay. With that being said, it's court's understanding Mr. Wilkinson will be entering a plea of guilty to count one only, possession of methamphetamine, a level 5 drug felony. And Mr. Sweeney, is that your understanding of the plea negotiations?
It is, Your Honor. Additionally, the state has agreed to dismiss all remaining charges. And there would be a sentencing joint recommendation that if for some reason he wouldn't qualify for Senate Bill 123, that the state would join in a recommendation for probation.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. Rhonda, we'll go ahead and go on the record at this point. Case is entitled State of Kansas versus Brian J. Wilkinson, 23 CR 302. State of Kansas appears by Assistant Butler County Attorney Brett Sweeney. The defendant, Mr. Wilkinson, appears in person and by court-appointed counsel Jim Watts. This matter does regularly come before the court this date on the pretrial conference plea docket. And announcements to the court, Mr. Watts.
Your Honor, as previously noted, it's my understanding Mr. Wilkinson would plead guilty to count one of the information, the remaining counts dismissed.
Thank you, Mr. Watts. And once again, Mr. Sweeney, is that the state's understanding of the plea negotiations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Wilkinson, Mr. Watts has advised the court that you do wish to enter a plea of guilty to count one only, possession of methamphetamine, a severity level 5 drug felony. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there are a number of questions that I do need to ask you in order to ascertain whether you are knowingly and voluntarily entering your plea. And sir, I'll need you to speak up and directly into the microphone there. Sir, how old are you?
I am 55 years old.
And are you married or single?
I live with the love of my life. We live as married, but we're not legally married through the state any longer. We're divorced, but we still live as married.
Okay, I'm going to need you to move the microphone a little bit closer to Mr. Wilkinson, please. Mr. Watts.
I will try and speak up, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, I don't have a separate mic. It's part of the camera package, so I don't have a separate mic I can move.
Okay, I understand. Sir, are you employed?
I am totally disabled from traumatic brain injury due to a motorcycle accident in 1998.
What is the highest education level you have obtained?
I have some certifications in insurance. I have some college, but the
Are-
highest actual is my high school diploma.
Are you making your plea voluntarily?
Yes, I am making this plea voluntarily.
Have there been any promises or threats made to you which have influenced you to plead guilty?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
I understand there have been certain plea negotiations entered into between your counsel and counsel for the state. Do you understand, even though the attorneys may make certain recommendations in regards to sentence, the decision in regards to appropriate sentence is mine pursuant to the sentencing guidelines for the state of Kansas?
Yes, sir.
When you plead guilty, you surrender and waive certain legal rights you would otherwise have if you chose to go to trial. Do you understand you have the right to a speedy trial where your guilt or innocence would be determined by a jury, or if you chose to waive a jury, by a judge?
I do understand that my due process rights have already been violated in that matter, and I have not been served, Your Honor.
I did not understand what you said once again. You understand your due process rights have been what?
Have already been, my speedy trial has already been broken, but I still want to just take care of this matter by pleading guilty and doing some drug treatment in this matter, if that is what you choose to do. If that's how you choose to sentence me under the Senate Bill 123.
All right. Are you objecting to entering your plea here today
No,
because
sir.
your speedy trial rights have been abridged, or they have not been afforded to you?
No, sir. I am willingly entering this plea to get this matter handled because I believe that that would be what is in the best interest of the state for lowering the costs and making this go away and stopping the handling the matter so that I can do what is best for myself.
All right. Well, the court is not concerned with what's in the best interest of the state at this point. I'm concerned about you entering a voluntary and willing plea. Is that how you wish to proceed today or not?
I appoint you, Judge, as my fiduciary trustee.
Okay, here we go.
Dismiss this case. I accept all charges for value. In return, please use my exemption as post-settlement and closure for this case with my CUSIP number and auditor's account number 509-826810, as this account is prepaid and exempt from levy. I am the beneficiary of this constructive trust, and I appoint you, Judge, as my fiduciary trustee under the Power of Appointment Act of 1951. I wish for you to dismiss this case, eliminate it from the record, and release the orders of the court to me immediately.
Okay, well, Mr. Wilkinson, we'll take up your concern at the heel of the docket today, and we'll go ahead and at this point close out what was commenced as a proposed plea hearing. And Mr. Wilkinson, I'll come back to you, and it will be a bit of time, probably be about an hour before we're back with you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Watts
No, Your Honor, thank you.
and Mr. Sweeney?
No, Your Honor.
Court is in recess. John, do you want to take up your case?
Yes, that sounds like a good idea, Your Honor.
And once again, your client's name?
Is